So we're not supposed to go with your intro?
I don't have an intro.
Oh, yeah, so old Inglewood.
Yeah, Inglewood is definitely changing.
It's completely changed from what I can see.
Yeah, so I've been trying to give folks to participate in documenting, what we experience, because at this point you have like old white Inglewood, which is before my time, and now you got like just the Inglewood I grew up in, which is
the only Inglewood. Say it.
Yeah, that's the famous Inglewood. Actually, that's what that's it. Maybe it was just special to me. Maybe the new Inglewood is special as well.
I ain't heard that.
Yeah, I ain't got that report either. But I remember some stores that aren't there anymore. I remember like the Cosmic Store, right? Mm. And that was like the first location anyway was a small little barber shop next to like the old theater. Somehow that theater never was up. I guess that's the old white Inglewood.
Yeah, they used to have a cinema.
Yeah, but it's been a church. It's been all types of things since being a movie theater. But next door to that, it used to be these couple barbers. I think it was like a father and son duo. Emmanuel, I think, was the father's name, and like Kevin was the son's name. And they used to cut hair in this little spot. And the dude used to be giving like life science, like real like game to youngsters. So I thought it was a trip. I mean, it was all in joke form, and it was a funny dude. And they ended up evolving the actual shop into like multiple businesses. Like they just started opening up cosmic stores all over the place, it seemed. And I think there's probably only like 3 of them, Mm-hmm. But what made it special was they were like the only people doing like New York style haircuts. At least it seemed like they were the only people. Maybe that was
just your area.
Yeah. which is the whole world, right?
Yeah.
So they like, if you wanted the Big Daddy Kane, high top fade, step fade, the Gumby, you know what I'm saying, the do the right thing, whatever cuts was on the television or movies, like they were doing them there. You know what I'm saying? And then it grew and expanded. And I only I wasn't a big at that particular when Cosmic Store first jumped off, it was just kind of older cats. You know what I'm saying? And by the time I got to it, was probably like they moved across the street on Market Street. And they ended up, I mean, it was just expanded. It would just be packed. And this is all before you can make appointments and all this other stuff. It was just, you
just had to wait.
Yeah, I had to sit and wait.
That's the worst thing ever.
And I remember I was waiting. I got turned on by another partner of mine to this woman barber, and that was rare back then. And I was waiting for her, and she had as a matter of fact, she was phenomenal too. She ended up opening up like opposites attract, which was like another string of barbershops, all women. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a nice gimmick. And I was waiting for her, and then this dude is this like shadowy type. You know, if you can kind of get that, like coming in like dark clothes, and there was like an upstairs back booth. I mean, it was a greedy move to put like chairs upstairs, like in the back of the. So I guess that's where they put the unlicensed barber. You know what I'm saying? Like
I almost got past this time.
Yeah, so he kind of shady, and he walking by, and she's like, maybe he can get you, or I don't know exactly. I don't even remember if she was there yet or what. It was like an early morning joint, and I said, "Man, you cut?" He's like, "Yeah, I can take you." You know, it's like, okay. And he had like a duffel bag. I mean, but the whole thing, the Cosmic Store was like, those was the best barbers.
The best barbers. So no matter who you got,
yeah, that was the feeling. So I don't know how factual it was, but you got your hair cut at the Cosmic Store, like you was winning. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hoping it's the Cosmic Store, not the Cosmic Shop, but I think it's store. That's a fumble.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Inglewood is vanishing.
Inglewood will come for you though. Yeah. Famous Inglewood will.
Yeah. So, nonetheless, I ended up getting my hair cut by like the best barber in the city that day. I was like, "Yo, like who are you?" He's like, he's Batman. He's Batman. So yeah, he was AJ, man. AJ was building up this legend. I think he used to go to Westchester or something. He was cutting everybody's hair and somehow he found his way into this, the cosmic shop or cosmic store. And I felt like I discovered like gold. Yeah. Like it's like, yo, like, so this dude started, that was the beginning of my addiction. Cause haircuts, as you know, can mean a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Depending on
depending on who you're trying to attract. You know what I'm saying?
Fresh cut, man.
Yeah, if you
can boost your points up, man.
Yeah, it also can bring the women that nobody likes too. I find that interesting. The bait is to get these plastic, superficial gold diggers. Yeah, but y'all, no, I hate these gold digging ass broads. But you do the gold digging ass things to get the gold digging.
They said that they do the same thing. We all just in this bullshit, man. They wear the nice clothes, get the nice hair, and we get a fresh cut, man.
Yeah, so
it's like it's just
that was the beginning of that for me. Like this cat put me up on a haircut that like changed my demographic, man. It was like, yo, like this dude is now special. Like it's like, yo, okay. So nonetheless, I didn't have the money to keep getting haircuts. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, I was a younger man, like 9th grade. I had no money. I remember actually moms used to give like a couple dollars and I used to be like, what is this going to like? Yeah, what is this? You can't get no nachos. You can't get nothing cool in the cafeteria.
Mom's kept the legacy going for me too.
Yeah, but in hindsight, I realized that's all she had to give, So of course, those $2, once I learned how to shoot dice.
There you go. That's Inglewood for you right there. Dicing.
Yeah. So that became a sport, like a one that we leveraged against. Me and my man had started shooting dice together. So if one was up, the other was up. You know what I mean? Like, so we started shooting dice, and I don't know if dice is a skill or luck. You know what I'm saying? But it was a job. Like it became a job. That paid handsome in regards to what we needed, what I'm saying, in 9th and 10th grade. Yeah, so needed a haircut. We needed to be able to eat off campus because there used to be within walking distance next to it used to be Thrifties back in the day.
Oh, yeah, Thrifties.
What it is now, Rite Aid or something.
Rite Aid trash.
Yeah, but on Market Street, there used to be next to this H Salt, which nobody ate there.
I don't know. You don't know what it was.
H salt, yeah. It was
salt?
Fish. Like it was like fish. They sold fish, but nobody ate there.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I heard that the fish is actually
delicious. So, the best fish in the city, and nobody would eat it.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Well, next to it used to be this pizza slice spot. Mm-hmm. That for whatever reason, that little thin slice of cheese pizza, man, or pepperoni even. It was really good eating with a little strawberry soda, easy on ice.
It's called light ice now. As you guys will say easy, like you was asking for me. You know how to make this drink.
Yeah, man. So that supplied the haircut, staying fresh. If you had to buy some new shoes or whatnot. I actually ended up working at like Savon's in Ladera. And that's where the actual clothes money came from. But in regards to the dailies, the once a week, and then I even got up to like a couple times a week. You know what I'm saying? Like every few days type of joint. Since others were sponsoring me at this point, courtesy to shooting dice. It was this one cat we used to shoot dice with. It was a couple addicts actually that came out of that. It appeared that they were addicts anyway. But one of them was somebody taught the immigrant student. What's his name? Falake. I think his name was Faleke. It's Ethiopian cat.
You guys taught him how to be a gambler?
No. Someone did, not you guys.
You guys, you're a group.
Yeah,
you're a gambling crew.
no.
It was a gambling crew, though.
They ended up evolving into a gambling circle, yes, and that wasn't my circle. I ended up falling out, I think, because I actually had a regular job, regular income. After a while.
He didn't need them no more. You outgrew him. Gotcha.
No, I mean, and then I think, well, just to finish with Faleke.
Yeah.
This dude, started, having a real gambling situation, was stealing money to gamble. Yeah. So he was bringing real money. So when the pot started getting too big, that's probably about the same time I started fading out, and then people started trying to meet up after school, and it was too much. It was like, this is not really
Where were you guys gambling at on school property?
Yeah, that is funny. There used to be, I wish I remember the numbers on those buildings, but by the PE lockers, there used to be the staircase.
I forgot you guys still had lockers back there.
The PE?
Oh, you guys had a PE locker.
PE
They already took out the main locker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the PE lockers, that little changing room was, right there was these buildings, you'd be on those steps, and then cats started gambling on a rooftop. It was like a roof you can access, and
oh yeah, you guys were not gambling crew.
It was, but like I said, it seemed longer than it was, but when it kept evolving, I realized they were meeting up after school, and I remember shooting dice a few times. I remember shooting dice with with a couple of people I shouldn't have been shooting dice with. And I remember at that point, my brother was reminding me that that's kind of dangerous. People get killed over it. But I didn't have that. It was just free money because I was good at it. If there is a such thing as being good at,
Yeah, no, I played you in Monopoly. I know you can shoot dice.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's cool. I mean, it's good. You're a dice shooter.
So I remember shooting with one of those type of killers. His disposition was killer, because we just was shoot one, and then, all right, shoot one, somebody we didn't really know,
he tried to give me the vocals.
Oh, okay, I guess and So anyway, I remember shooting dice, two different experiences with two different types of grown-ups that used to be around Rogers Park. So one of them was
Let me interject. Well, Rogers Park seems like the most dangerous park in existence. Go ahead.
Oh shit! It was actually just the way home. That's the funny part.
I know it's trash. You got to cut through the park to leave high school to get home.
That's hilarious.
It seems very dangerous.
But this was not dangerous. This was money. You start with 20, you left with 50. That's
50 or 30 of somebody else's money.
Yeah. So that ended up being low numbers, once you get off the campus. But that was a lot of money between a bunch of teenagers,
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, thankfully nothing happened, but I didn't really know him, and that's what I reflected on when I had got the warning. Somehow the warning didn't really reflect when I was shooting dice with the guy, which was a notorious gangbanger.
Yeah.
It didn't dawn on me because my relationship with him wasn't gang related. I wasn't trying to be a gangbanger or nothing. I was just a dude that walked home through the park. You know what I'm saying? So we were shooting dice, and what I learned then is that if somebody has hundreds of dollars, and then there's no one, there's no second period, there's no third period to go to, there's no lunch bell, and you're just out gambling in the world, then this is, when does this end? Because theoretically, if you only had $20 and you lost $20, the game is over for you.
Yeah.
So if you have $2,000,
$2,000 you want for that?
You have $2,000, then it's I gotta wait until I take all your money. How do you break this off? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my little experience with gambling was it never ends because there's always somebody who's trying to get their money back.
Yeah,
and let me get my money back. Let me give me a shot. And it's no, this is my money now.
Yeah, and I think that's where the danger comes in because you're taking somebody's money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. With you. And then, and I hate that I forget the good brother's name right now. But Ripple's brother, Ripple was another figure in Rogers Park.
The training ground, gotcha.
Yeah, Adrian was his name. And this cat made me believe in magic. I shot dice with this dude foolishly. All this is out of bounds, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Adrian was a fly dude. That's like just this. I was too young to understand his whole grind, but he just was super fresh. Like from the car to his duds, like he was super funny. Just a beautiful man in a lot of ways. And we used to shoot pool together and shoot for dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I would, I would pretty much win those, but that's little money. Like, that's just like a fun little wager. And, I remember one time he actually, like, when the monies went up, cause it'd be like, shoot 5 when somebody losing. Oh, shoot 10, shoot the whole dub.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I remember shooting the whole dub and he was standing by the last pocket, where at least where the pocket where the money was. And of course, when I won, then that money remained his. Like he just dipped in, took his money, ran out laughing. I mean, that's big homie shit. You ain't gonna chase him down. Who you gonna tell? Ain't nobody to tell. He's friends with whoever you would tell. It's like, and he's just a good dude, and it was his money anyway. Not as far as gambling goes, but
I got you.
Yeah. So I thought because we were so good at shooting dice, like shit, we shoot with anybody, like not knowing the danger again. And so we shoot dice with this dude, and the magic he made me believe was based off of what he was saying to these dice and how the dice were responding. It's like, why are you running through my money? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it usually starts like, low end, at this time it'd be like, shoot 5 or shoot 1. So it'd be like, okay, shoot 5. And it'd be, so you put your 20 down. Dude put his 20 down and he just started shooting, So, T. Lee or whatever, this is who's going to go first. So he goes first. He's like, okay, boom, 7, 5 up in it. You're like, okay, boom, like, okay, 10 up in it. Like, you're like, oh shit, like my money is going away, So this dude, what he's talking, man, and how he's talking, like I said, he's a wordsmith, one of the most hilarious dudes, period. So he's talking to these dice in the same way. So we shooting with 2 different dice. And like, so when you finish shooting, you crap out. He's like, man, get your kids out the street. Get your kids out the street, And he's just snapping his fingers and doing all this beautiful language, man. That I'm just sitting there like, hey, he really gonna win. And by the time you start thinking that, like, you
lost.
Yeah, you lost. So usually we had the other people thinking that, but at this point, it just is like, and it wasn't big money. Mm-hmm. For him, of course, because he's a grown up, what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's big money to us because, it took us 2-3 periods to
accumulate it.
Yeah, to get this $40 or $60 up or whatever. And I might only lost like 20 or something, but it was a swift 20 and that never feels comfortable, but thankfully, nothing became of violence and dicing for me, but he ended up getting murdered, unfortunately. He was a solid dude, and what I heard everybody say about the joint, it just was like it shouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was some club shit, like security killed him type. Whoa. Some real just another one of them hurtful days in old Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like just the wrong people dying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so but Inglewood had like this landscape of barbering, like it was I think it was like Royals or something was on like Nutwood, and then Fisher's is over there in CPF neighborhood, and AJ kind of snuck in and became legendary. Like he kind of brought in a laid backness, a non-professionalism that was trash. Let's be clear. Like if you don't get here and get the cut,
he was the late barber,
but he was the must-have.
He was the best.
Yes.
So you had to take it.
Yes.
He was like a pretty girl.
Oh, I don't know.
No, it's like they on their time. Like, I won't be there. It's like,
Oh, okay.
it's like, shit.
Yeah, so the pretty girl barber, this is who he is. And but it created community. It built community for those of us waiting for this dude. Like, we got to know each other because he was there, and then he would bounce out with his real homeboys, you know what I'm saying? And be gone for 2-3 hours, and you just fucking like, fuck, man. Like, trying to make arrangements with this dude, you know.
So he was bouncing in the middle of the day with clientele waiting.
Yeah, he was.
I know some mechanics like that.
Yeah, no, he was a special dude, and I'm sure he still is, but he would be putting, this is before. Now it seems like every other person on Instagram can do it. But he was designing the designs he was putting in our hair at that time was
it was
spectacular,
futuristic.
Like, yeah, and that's what the Cosmic shop was known for. Like, they was cutting edge, and he was definitely cutting edge. But again, all these things fade. Oh, it was also Ray's. Ray's was around the corner. It was like this bitter Spanish man. That oh my gosh, people used to run out on that man. They'll get his haircut. They'll get their haircut and run out of his shop, man. After and he was meticulous. He'll give you a skin fade, like with the straight edge razor, and you get up and you kind of look, and it just boom. Like, you just bolt out.
Horrible.
And what's horrible about it is
ran up on the plug twice.
Yeah, because I guess his memory was bad because he's older, and cats would come back to do it again. So then he just got mistrustful of all of us. Like, kind of start trying to put in rules, like, got to pay first, It's like paying first. Like, come on, Ray, man, stop playing, man. Just cut it, man. Yeah.
That should not be laughing, but that is horrible.
Yeah, that's super horrible, man. And so then by that time, all these other shops start popping up, and Cash just left because he was only good for giving this like skin fade. Like, that's it. He couldn't do much else.
That was what Ray could do?
That was all Ray can do.
Ray was good. I mean, he'd be good now.
Yeah. So, and I remember years after, like, not fucking with none of the barbers in that area, kind of look, I wonder if Ray's still there. And Ray was still there, man. Looking like 102, man. It was tough, man.
102 young.
Yeah, because he had a fly old school shop, and he was the only barber in there. For whatever reason, he had the logic for it, but he would shoot some game. He was actually like probably what would be considered a dirty old man too. But he stayed in Inglewood for some reason, and cats would run off on that man regularly. It was a sad, it was a sad reality, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, stop. Yeah, but the stock that Dressing Fresh had back then, or probably still has, including the haircut and the quality of women that would
give you a second look.
Yeah, that would acknowledge you. Definitely kept the stakes high, man. Cash was definitely trying to stay fresh. And I remember we was relatively fresh until these Morningside dudes came and showed us what fresh really was. Like, it was like, ooh, okay. And they came in like pairs too. Like, two of them came. Slink was one of them, tall dude. And Dre was his little homeboy. And little only in height, you know what I'm saying? And I remember him just coming and just brought a different level of fierceness because Morningside is in the bottoms. And the bottoms is it used to be like project like, although it was more like jungles, just had a lot of apartment buildings next to each other. Now, I don't know what they bred over there, but it was a fierceness, man, and I appreciated seeing that. Like, it was like a no nonsense approach to interacting, you know what I'm saying? And I remember having a class with Dre, and he I mean, it was like a wood shop, and so it was space and opportunity, right? So this one dude named Count, he was a weirdo, forever. Right? I don't know why. Yeah, it was like, God damn, you're a strange dude with a strange name, you know? And he had like Anyway, he said something slick because I think he was lightweight trying to get recruited. I don't think he knew exactly how to join the gang.
Oh, there was a gang now?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
There was a gang of two?
No, this dude Count appeared to want to be a gang member, but nobody was necessarily checking for him. And I don't know how you
get recruited, baby.
Yeah, but he definitely wasn't on nobody's recruitment list. And
the greatest killer ever right there.
Yeah, no, I'm certain that he became dangerous, but he was just talking and nobody really dealt with him because he was so strange. He was just kind of built, kind of hunchbacky, like kind of stalky, like never really had a squabble that nobody can remember. But it's also like he'd probably try and bite your ear or some shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like this a dirtbaggy ass, presentation.
Oh, he didn't have no posture, man. That's all I want.
Okay.
Yeah, we wasn't taught to sit up straight, man.
Yeah, something was up. But so Count, I think that was the victim of this particular ass whooping. Yeah. The establishment that Morningside is now at Inglewood. It said something slick, kind of mumbly, and he was in front of my sitting in front of her. I'm sitting like next to this dude, Dre, and he was like, "What you say?" And then Count, I guess, felt like maybe this is what I need to be recognized on the local
games.
This is the
hell I need right here.
Yeah, so he says what I don't even think he finished the sentence, my man, on the repeat. He tried to try and pop it off with more volume, and my man just was all over that dude. Just an old-fashioned, disciplined, like, I was like, ooh, this is my type of dude. Like, just boop, 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 boop. Like just real quick, fast, he should have if he didn't say, like, I'm from Morningside. Like
it was already, it was just there.
That was I was like, dude, this is my type of dudes, man. I'm talking about he did this in a blouse. Like these men was dressed like they was like
dapper. Right.
Yes, like that Morningside energy, man, brought like silk shirts and you know what I'm saying, like exclusives, and he whooped them like old school. I'm like, damn, okay. So I ended up having a class with him and his big homie, and like I said, just taller. They were and Slink. Slink was the name he ended up going by, and then these cats collectively had like double the energy. Like, so it was like, oh, there's more. This is just really like a Morningside thing. So then not too long after that, another two came, these basketball players that allegedly got kicked out of Morningside. And that's when it just was like, yeah, like we used to think we dressed fresh, but these dudes came.
Now it was four of them.
Oh, man. Like, oh, okay, this is something else. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, when you find out later that some of these cats were like rich, you know what I'm saying? Like their families was doing everything that to have polo socks, you know, to match with the polo shoes, polo shorts, the polo belt, the polo. Yeah, the polo. Yeah, with the polo hat. Yeah, that particular arrangement wasn't for the faint of heart. Like that wasn't for us. Like that was. I think it ended up trying to be for us by tag switching and taking that route to stay fresh. You know what I'm saying? Where you show up at the high end department with the low end ticket.
Yeah,
you feel me? So Cass was trying to get
all to that too, though.
Yeah,
I hate when dudes be like, can I get a price check? Yeah. Come on.
Why
man.
do you care?
Yeah, just take this
are
$3.99 toy sticker for this damn $40 shirt and let me walk the hell out of here. Wing wing. They give you a $5. Come on, they ain't paying you.
Yeah.
Oh man. You know the logic too is like, man, they got it. They got insurance.
Yeah, this is true.
Oh man.
Yeah, but them cats ended up forming like Boston Industries, who turned into like a boss gang. Actually, they ended up evolving.
The Morningside cats, all four of them.
Yeah, not all four. No, the other two was
Slink and
yeah, the other two was just they was hustlers. They was married to the streets in a different way. Like they was rich. These cats, they didn't need Boss Industries. Boss was more like a clique. Because I think low key, and this is my ignorance at the time, I think my man's brother was like an official like Crip. So if he was gonna bang, I think he would have banged with that particular Crip gang his brother was with.
Right.
But I think that that cloth was in them, and that was that authenticity that was attractive. Like this was a no nonsense. They was actually my man was a car booster. Like they was car thieves, like Gone in 60 Seconds style. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So they brought that element to having fun. And it's
it's different Inglewood right there.
Yeah, old Inglewood.